jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating story about emotional regulation. It perfectly captures how a simple, everyday accident can completely spiral into a relationship-threatening crisis. If you've ever, lost your temper over something incredibly small, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to how this all unfolds.
So, let's start with a rather simple question. How much damage can a broken jar of jam really cause? Honestly, it sounds almost like a joke, right? A minor inconvenience at best. But as we explore this source material, we're going to see exactly how a mundane, sticky mishap rapidly escalated into a fractured friendship and, shockingly, an actual hospital visit. Part 1. The Strawberry Jam Incident.
Okay, so our inciting incident happens early on when a character named GuguGaga accidentally breaks Masha's absolute favorite strawberry jam. Now, instead of just taking a deep breath or assessing the situation, Masha reacts with explosive frustration over a ruined jar of jam. She declares they are literally no longer friends and forcefully kicks him out of the house. It's this massive, immediate overreaction to a completely unintentional mistake. And while it might seem totally absurd to throw away a friendship over fruit preserves, it actually perfectly captures how blinding sudden anger can be.
Which brings us to Part 2, heartbreak and unintended consequences.
Man, the situation deteriorates so rapidly from here. We start with that initial flash of anger over the broken jam, which leads directly to some severe heartbreak. Deeply hurt by Masha's harsh words, GuguGaga wanders away alone while this incredibly sad music plays in the background. It's a profound illustration of the emotional impact. Words really do have weight. And this emotional devastation directly paves the way for the absolute worst-case scenario. He ultimately ends up physically injured on the road. Basically, the emotional damage has literally pushed him into physical danger.
Chapter 3. Bear the Loyal Mediator. Fortunately, the story doesn't just end out there on the road. Enter Bear, who discovers his hurt friend and quickly rushes him to the hospital. And what's super interesting here is the stark contrast between two very different reactions to a crisis. On one side, we have Masha, right? She reacts to a minor accident with cruelty and banishment, but on the other side, Bear reacts to a genuine, life-threatening crisis with concern, loyalty, and immediate action. He actively reassures GuguGaga during this incredibly tense trip to the hospital. It is essentially a masterclass in how you should show up for the people you care about when things go completely wrong.
But Bear doesn't stop at just being a caregiver. He actually holds the aggressor accountable. During that intense hospital trip, Bear makes a firm promise to teach Masha a lesson about kindness and proper behavior. He clearly recognizes that the root cause of this physical injury was actually an emotional failing on her part, and he fully intends to address it head-on to protect his friend.
That sets the stage perfectly for our next section, confrontation and deep regret.
So the reality of Masha's actions truly hits her when she receives a terrifying phone call about GuguGaga's condition in the hospital. Bear steps in and scolds her for her mistreatment. He's reminding her, and honestly reminding us too, of the true definition of accountability: taking responsibility for your actions and recognizing when your hurtful behavior damages a relationship. He makes it crystal clear that friends should absolutely never be treated cruelly over simple mistakes or accidents.
And once she learns the truth, the emotional toll is just immediate. Masha completely panics. Crushed by guilt, we see her crying alone, absolutely overcome with deep regret. She openly admits she never expected things to end this way, and desperately wishes for his return, realizing how much she truly misses her friend. It's a really powerful reminder of how anger, once that initial flash fades away, so often leaves us feeling isolated and regretful, wishing we could just take back the heat of the moment.
Which brings us to our final chapter, forgiveness and the lesson.
Suddenly, bringing this huge rush of warm relief, GuguGaga returns safely, completely surprising Masha. And overwhelmed with relief, she doesn't just celebrate that he's back, she actually takes actionable steps to ask for forgiveness. First, realizing the truth of her actions. Second, deeply feeling that regret. And finally, most importantly, offering a sincere apology. This right here is the actionable framework for repairing the damage she caused.
It all builds to this really beautiful synthesis. Hurtful words can damage relationships, but sincere apologies can help repair them. This is the core emotional lesson of the entire source material. It highlights the immense importance of controlling our anger in the moment, for sure, but equally, the practice of forgiveness when things go inevitably wrong. It puts friendship and empathy above everything else.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought to ponder.
When our own strawberry jam breaks in life, do we react like Masha or do we act like Bear? Really ask yourself how you handle accidental messes in your own relationships. Are you prioritizing the jam or are you prioritizing the relationship? Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating story. Definitely keep this in mind the next time something spills.